Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a one-page layout using the Gabby collection from Felicity Jane. I have this one photo here of a dandelion. Kind of a strange photo to, I guess, scrapbook, but there is kind of, I guess, a little meaning behind it. My youngest loves to pick out the dandelions to give to me, and this one happened to be really late in the year that he picked it, and as in like beginning of November. So we must have had a pretty warm fall here for the dandelions to still be around. Um, and so I thought it would just be a fun little memory to document. So that is why I am scrapbooking a picture of a dandelion. I am actually scraplifting a layout that I found on Instagram. I can't remember who it was, though. So what I'm going to do is kind of add some different strips of paper to the top right and the bottom left. And then in that middle, I found a journaling card from a different Felicity Jane collection, I believe, but the colors matched perfectly. And so I figured I would use that because I did want to document why I am scrapbooking a dandelion. So once I get all these strips kind of down, it is going to take a little bit. I did end up adjusting some of the widths of the paper as well, just so they weren't all the same. Excuse me, I am super tired today for some reason. um, One thing I found though is that I had to make sure that they kind of reached from side to side. There was one that I had to fix, and I don't remember which one now. Maybe that light blue one, or maybe this one here. I had initially wanted that scalloped piece that comes on the solid color cardstock from Felicity Jane. I just didn't like the way that it looked up there, so instead I just cut a thin strip of solid cardstock and adjusted that. I think one of those was the one that didn't reach from side to side, end to end, so I think that's why I adjusted it. One thing I am kind of bummed about, and I think you can't tell that much once I have everything embellished, but the angles of the strips of paper are different. So if you really look closely, the top strips are closer together than the bottom strips, if that makes sense. But like I said, once I kind of embellish more, you can't tell that much. I went ahead and cut out some doilies from the solid cardstock. And the nice thing about the Felicity Jane solid colored papers is that each side is a different color. So it really kind of enabled me to use either side. You know, with some dies, you can definitely tell which side was meant to, I guess, be displayed. With the doily, I felt like I could get away with using either side. So you can see I kind of must have used a scrap piece. But I then decided to use the big doily down at the bottom. And the nice thing with these doilies, these are from Close to My Heart, that the small doily fits inside of the big doily. So that's kind of what I ended up doing for this, and that's kind of going to be the base for my title as well. So I am going to use initially the alphas that come with the Gabby collection, along with some wood grain. I just wanted kind of a different fonts, different colors down there. But the last word here blends in too much with the doily. And so after I stop recording, I do switch the color to like a pink, the pink that matches those solid color strips of paper, and it just stands out a lot more than the kind of teal, because right now looking at it you can't even see what the last word is. So my title is Last Flower Standing, and I just thought that was really cute because again, this flower was still around at the beginning of November. So on the layout that I was scrap lifting, they had lots of, it kind of looked like fussy cut florals kind of surrounding the photo and down at the bottom left. And so I went ahead, I have also this die cut sheet here that's in craft paper, and that is from Close to My Heart as well. That is in the current catalog through the end of June, I think. Yeah. So the doily dies and these craft die cuts you can kind of see in the bottom left are around until the end of June. And I just loved how that one on the bottom was kind of cut out so that you could see the white behind it. I just love those floral pieces in there so much. So I am honestly just kind of mixing in the floral from the Gabby collection and the florals from the craft sheet there, and just making a bunch of clusters. It's definitely kind of more busy, I think, than what I am used to, or than I usually do, but I felt like where I put the clusters, I guess it was kind of, I don't know, justified. I don't really think that, yeah, I don't know, is the right word. But I also cut out, now I can't remember what, I think it's the buildable flower dies from Close to My Heart as well. I did cut out some leaves beforehand as well, just as layering pieces. And again, the nice thing is I cut it out of the Felicity Jane paper, and so I got two colors out of the leaves. So I felt like the bottom left cluster needed some more, and so I decided to kind of add on to that cluster, but kind of was running out of what to use, I guess. If that makes any sense. So I am going to cut out another doily to use, and actually I'm going to cut it in half and use it in two different places. So again, this, what is nice about this doily die as well is that you can, I mean, you really only need to use half. And the way that I did it, you can see here that I did it, it was a striped piece of paper, but I purposely put the die halvesies, I guess, on each color. So I got, two different colors out of that die because I knew I was going to cut it in half. And so it just worked out perfectly with that striped paper. And then I'm just going to continue to add to that bottom left to kind of fill in some more of that space down there. I am going to, again, use some of the leaves that I had previously cut. Those came kind of on, I guess I'll call it branches, but I just cut some of the leaves off to use behind that craft flower. Added a little arrow that came in the, not embellishment, the embellishment, embellishments from the Gabby collection, and then added that little heart. And I think that's going to kind of finish off. I'm going to add some more leaves to that bottom left. Tuck those in and both colors kind of there. But that's going to kind of finish off that bottom ginormous cluster. And then I'm just going to, I think, add that top, that doily to the top there. I thought that worked out nice to fill in a little bit of that space. Otherwise, we are nearing the end of this layout, so sometimes I like to hold it up to get a better look. I feel like looking straight on when I hold it up gives me an idea of how it is, how it's looking. But that's kind of going to finish it off. Like I said, I have added some stuff to it since, one of which is I changed the color of the word standing to a pink. That should be in the picture though. But then since then as well, my aunt has come over and scrapbooked with me and mentioned that I should do some like blending with a light pink in the white space. So I have done that. That unfortunately is not in the picture yet. That will be in my layout share at the beginning of June. So you can see that there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.